Over the summer, I had the amazing experience to work under a leadership development company called Emzingo. Through this company, I and 9 other college students focused on creating sustainable programs and projects within various NGOs in Peru. For 2 months, I worked with an NGO named Padma, which focuses on providing psychological services and aid to women and children in abusive cases. My partner, a junior from Tulane University, and I specifically worked in Casa Hogar Corazón de Jesús, a live-in shelter Padma is partnered with, which is located in the outskirts of Lima in an impoverished area called Villa Salvador. There, only children from the ages of 4 to 12 stay under the care of 4 nuns. Due to the lack of policies and government funding, these kids in shelter only get funds through the church, but are legally not allowed to live with their parents, and they can only afford one psychologist who comes twice a week. These children have gone through very traumatic experiences and different types of abuse. In order for the nuns and teachers to better care for the kids, we developed a manual after extensive research to explain all the psychological traumas the children may have and how to work with them during their stay. Many of these kids stay for over 6 years, and the nuns are responsible for taking care of them 24/7. So we covered attachment responses and issues, how to handle their sleeping and eating habits, discipline, schoolwork, and other activities in order to create a stable and constant daily routine and habits. We also led a workshop to help the nuns learn how to give sex ed health classes to the children with the help of Padma staff and a psychologist, Gabrielle, who has her own practice in Peru. Many of the children have endured multiple types of abuse and arrive at such a young age that they are unaware about their bodies, uncertain about some social norms, and how to handle certain situations when in public. The nuns and shelter staff responded positively as they were struggling with how to handle certain conversations with the kids, especially since they become the full-time guardians of 22 children, and many look at them as maternal figures. The biggest issue still remains that the government itself lacks structure and resources with how to handle the legal cases behind these children. This in turn affects the psychological health of the kids. Some are moved to multiple shelters and homes of family members over short periods of time, and others remain in contact with their parents through phone calls or monitored visits due to legal issues. The most problematic issue is that many kids do not have any documentation, such as a DNI, which is their form of identification, or birth certificate, and therefore they cannot attend school or receive health care. Through working with a social worker assigned to the shelter, some kids have been making a lot of progress with their documentation, and a local public school nearby agreed to let all the kids attend school there, in return for the nuns' help during school hours. However, the next step is to try to have policies change when it comes to the children in these cases, in order for it to not take years for them to have access to their rights as Peruvian citizens and to not get lost in the system. And that is the next step Padma plans to take on. I am so unbelievably thankful to the children and staff that welcomed me into their family and into their home. The shelter is truly a remarkable private institution that unfortunately is uncommon in Peru. They provide a safe space and family for those who are marginalized and forgotten in this part of Lima. It's allowed me to see the dedication and sacrifices that the staff there gives without expecting anything in return. But most of all, I will miss the kids who were truly the most resilient people I have ever met. They strive to always do better each day at the shelter, in school, and with themselves. And although it can be hard to communicate well at times, these kids still have hope at the end of the day, and it has been a summer I am very grateful for.